Hello friends, this is Professor T.B. Ugle working as Assistant Professor at Department of Agriculture and Entomology at Kikiyama College of Agriculture and Biotechnology. Today we will go through the principles and methods of the insect pest management, natural control and applied control methods. Objective of the pest management is to reduce the status below the economic injury level. The complete elimination of the pest is not an objective of the pest management. So this is very particular the characteristic or the objective of the integrated pest management. Second objective is to manage the insect pest by not only by killing them but preventing their feeding, their multiplication and their dispersal from one place to another place. Third objective is to use the eco-friendly methods which will maintain the quality of environment, that is air, water, wildlife and plant life can be protected through these methodologies. Fourth objective is to make the maximum use of natural mortality factors, apply control measures only when they needed. So this is very important topic which will go through this topic importance of the natural control method. To use the component in sustainable crop production, the crop production should be sustainable and should be long should run long time. So its benefit can be taken by the farmers. The principles of the pest control. First is the identification or monitoring of the insect pest and natural enemies through their survey. Proper survey should be there with randomized plant observation should be there to identify to the stage of the pest or the different stages of the crop according to the different stages of the pest. So we can formulate one any kind of the control measure. Insect classification and its life history. Life history is also important. The position, pupation, and the dipods. These things are also very important in point of view sequence pest management control. Understanding the pest population dynamics and the concept of injury levels. Though there are various injury levels of the insect pest should be studied effectively. The population dynamics, the fluctuations between the population, increasing population, decreasing population should be studied while preparing for the pest management control. And understanding the agroecosystem, the factors like food, habitat, environment, food, environment, habitat, surrounding also efforts on the development of the pest. So ecosystem study is also important. Then knowledge of the introduced pest should be there because the introduced pest requires a specific climate. It should be acclimatized with the new environment. So that type of study also needed for to know the pest control method for that pest. Then economics of the pest control. Ultimately, the cost of the plant protection is also should be considered while applying or while preparing the plan for pest control. Consumers pressure is also consumers pressure and consumers preference to the food material is also important while planning the pest control methods. Preventive control. Everywhere there should be one assumption that prevention is better than cure. So preventive methods or preventive control methods should be formulated accordingly to avoid the losses in future. Knowledge of the various pest control methods, that is integration of two or more methods or tactics should be uh, combined together to achieve the best practice of the pest control. Extension education is also very important that the methodology which is developed by scientists should be percolated through the farmers or end users to the extension education. So these are some principles of the pest control should be followed by planning the integrated pest management. The tools of pest management. There are some preventive methods which can be implemented before the attack of the pest. First is the host plant resistance, that is the inbuilt resistance in plant. We may be it may be in the form of the resistant varieties or it may be from the some plant host preference or the habitat selection by the insect. So it is one of the preventive method. Another one the legal control method, that is it is enforced with some laws and some documentation that prevent entry of one pest to another area. And the another one is the cultural is the methodologies which is followed with different cultural operations like tillage, weeding, plowing. So these are some preventive methods. There are some curative methods which is also considered during the applied pest control methodology. First is the physical method, second one is the mechanical method, chemical method, biological method, insect growth regulator. These methods all are come together in the integrated pest management. So it is considered as a tools of the pest management. Then there is one concept. Why is before going to see, going to study this natural control, the balance of nature, that is maintenance of more or less fluctuating population density of a given organism over a period of time with a certain definable upper and lower limits of the action of biotic and biotic factors. Means there are some living and non-living factors which directly affects the population dynamics of the pest. So these are the factors by which natural control will be occurred. A tendency of population density of all species in same area to maintain the constant number of individuals in a physical environment is called as the balance of nature. Mostly the natural factors may be predator, may be parasite, may be temperature, may be humidity, may be rainfall. These factors are having their great impact in the population dynamics of the pest. The concept of balance of nature was given first by the Smith in 1935. It is an unmanaged ecosystem of a state of balance exists, or it will reach to that species interact with each other and with their physical environment in such a way that the average individuals are able to only to replace themselves. Each species in the community achieves a certain status, it becomes fixed for a period of time, is resistant to change, it is termed as the balance of nature. And when a man begins to manage creating new ecosystem, that is agro-system, where natural ecosystem existed previously, the balance is altered. The exceptionally strong forces react with the opposition of our imposed changes toward a return the original system, that is outbreak of the pest is one of the force. So insect pests are not ecological aberrations, their activities counter wants, needs to human population. So these are some intervention of the biological factors or some non-biological factors like topography or climatic factors in the pest population density. So this is cause the actually balance of nature or the natural control. So these different methods of the pest control or tools of the IPM. So here the natural control and artificial control or the applied control, these two methods we have to study the both in different lectures. First is the natural control, which include the abiotic factor, that is the density independent factor, and biotic factor, that is the density dependent factor. Density dependent factor, biotic factor may be divided into food, shelter, natural enemies, where the abiotic factors are classified into the climatic factor and topographic factor. Climatic factor includes temperature, humidity, rainfall, moisture, air, sunlight, where the topographic factor composed of the mountains, soil properties, ocean, water current, desert. So another way, artificial control method, that is applied uh, the practical ways to for the pest management, which is classified in cultural control, mechanical control, physical control, biological control, legal control, chemical control. Another new recently developed chemical or different tactics, which is termed as under the recent trends in pest control, was the ionization, radiation, chemosterilites, pheromones, genetic manipulation, insect attractants or repellents. So these are some techniques which is developed till the date for the pest management. So we will go through this natural control method. Natural control, abiotic factors that we have seen in the last slide, that includes the climatic factor and topographic factor, where the temperature, rainfall, humidity, air current, light, atmospheric pressure comes under the climatic factor. Mountain, sea, ocean, river, and soil comes under the topographic factor. In biotic factor, the density dependent factor like food, that is a nutrition factor, competition, that is intraspecific and interspecific competition, natural enemies is a predator and parasite pathogen. These three factors are very important in biotic factor. A biotic factor, that is a density independent factor, the temperature, the low temperature or high temperature affects on the survival of the pest. So this is very important. Why the dipose or the estipation, the people commonly undergo the hibernation in winter, high temperature in summer, it takes less and less than to complete the stages. Eggs undergo the estivation in the summer. So summer dipose is known as the estivation, and winter dipose is known as the hibernation in the insect. Temperature affects on the fecundity, migration, and rate of the development of the insect. Where the grasshopper lays 20 to 30 times more eggs in 32 degrees Celsius temperature as compared to the 22 degrees Celsius temperature. That is a very great impact on the egg laying. Oviposition of the bed was inhibited by the 8 to 10 degrees Celsius. That this also gives a few eggs at 8 degrees Celsius at low temperature, where it gives good number of eggs at 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. So this is same observed in the sugarcane internode borer. Even the also having the short and long prolonged life cycle in winter and summer. So migration also occurs during this 17 to 20 degrees Celsius temperature. So this is important factor. Then rainfall, heavy rainfall adversely affects of the small insect like sucking pest, which get damaged with the splash rain. Rainfall is also affects on the abundance of the insect. Rainfall is essential for the adult emergence of the cutworms and red hairy caterpillar or the reproductive pest. Increasing in humidity also regulate the metabolic reactions of the transportation of the salts in insects. Insects get die when water content increases or decreases. The desiccation, that is the removal of water, may be observed. Even the moisture scarcity leads to dehydration and the death of the insect. High humidity causes development of the endotoxin fungus like Verticillium lecani, Beauveria bassiana. Even these type of the fungus get developed over the body of the insect, which eventually die, killing the insect rapidly. Air current, that is disposal of the insects great extent depends on the wind. It also interferes with the feeding, mating, oviposition of the insect. Even in the feeding air current, there are some insects are get transferred from one place to another place, and many of them die because of falling in the rivers or sea. Many insects are known to spread with the new country through the air current. Large number of aphids has been found after a strong wind. Many of them are destroyed by falling a sea and rivers. Even they are stuck to any hard surface, we eventually die. Thus, the air current also play an important role in natural control of the insects. So, this should be considered while application of the control method. Light is also a very important role at the the phototaxis is the phenomenon in which animal response to the light is called the phototaxis. The light control locomotive activities of the insect by direct action in the phenomenon is known as the photokinesis. So photoperiod influences the induction of dipole, that is a resting stage in the most of insects like short day species mulberry silk moth and long day species of pink volua. So there is some effect on the light on the development of the insect. Mostly the Noctuidae family from the Lepidoptera, which is active during the night, it's known as the nocturnal. Some species are active during the day, is known as the diurnal. Some active during the dawn and dusk is crepuscular. So many of insect oviposition stimulated by the exposure to light and darkness. So this is a very important phenomenon found in the fruit fly. Even the cotton plume red hairy caterpillar oviposition in the dark, but a fruit fly lays egg in the light. So light is factor is also important. Atmospheric pressure is also very important. That's affected in a low atmospheric pressure than the high atmospheric pressure. The phototrophic insects are more active during the periods of the high atmospheric pressure. The activities of some insects directly influenced by the pressure, that is due to the low atmospheric pressure. A chance of rain increase resulting from emergence of the ants. Topographic factors, major topographic factors like mountain, river, sea act as a physical barrier to spread insect. Lake and ponds affect the natural insects of that region. Water current or for example larvae of mosquito and beetles not able to live only in standing water, so running water is preferred by the dragonfly and caddisfly flies. Soil type also important factor in topography, that wireworm multiplies in heavy clay soil. Even the widegrub insects or cutworms prefer the light and loamy soil and their multiplication. Biotic factor, that is a density dependent factor in which food is a nutritional factor. Insects are heterotrophic, hence they cannot synthesize their own food and depends on the plants for their food material, as most of insects consume the chlorophyll or whatever the food synthesized by the plant. So the quantity and quality of food nutrition plays important role in survival, longevity, distribution, reproduction and the speed of the development. The quantity of food is also important. Short supply of food causes intraspecific and interspecific competition. Sometimes the cannibalism also observed. Quality of the food material also affects the nutrition availability through the plant species or the crop species. So different nutrition status directly affects the growth and development of the insect. So this is very also important factor. Another one, the competition may be intra-specific or intra-specific. So for their competition mainly for the food, mates, and even suitable site of oviposition or population, even such selection of the good habitat. So such competition operates whenever the population is increasing and the resources are limited. So they are divided into the intra-specific competition when the members of a population of a same species compete with each other with limited resources. So this is found in the Helicarp parmigiora, that is American bullworm, that cannibalism. Cannibalism in the later stage of the grubs of the Chrysoperla, even the crowding in the aphids result elite, that is winged from the migration, reduction in fecundity, egg laying in dry field, overcrowding. So these are these some examples for the interspecific competition. Cannibalism is a phenomenon where the insects feeds on the individuals of the same species when the crowding is occurred. This is particularly in the Chrysopeles or even in the American bullworm, that is the Helicarpa arbiger. This is a photograph showing the cannibalism in the insects. Interspecific competition. This is the competition occurring between the members of two or more species. Two or more competing species with identical requirements cannot coexist in the same place for a longer time. The elimination of one species by another as a result of intraspecific competition, it gives by Russian scientist G.F. Gauss, called the competitive exclusion principle or Gauss hypothesis or Gauss principle. Competition occurs by the colonization, grouping of three living individuals to form a colony is to have a better protection from natural enemies or environmental conditions for the improved population of the food. Aggregation, the tendency of the congregating in large numbers than normal distribution for the mating or food. So accidental introduction of the oriental fruit fly into Hawaii, eliminated by the Mediterranean fruit fly, the introduction of the new pest to another area. Trichogramma and Crassopherla competes for the Helicarpa eggs in the field. Both are very good natural enemy for the control of the Helicarpa argyra. Natural enemy like the insects having the predatory potential, like predator, parasite, insects, mites, spiders, birds, mammals, reptiles, fishes, frogs, disease causing fungi, bacteria, viruses. These are the natural enemies which are associated for the management of the pest. Association of the parasite and host is known as the parasitism. They keep the insect population in check, thus the natural balance within limits is almost always maintained. So this is a very important factor. Predator and parasites interaction with a host population density is also very important while preparing or by planning the pest management tactics. So predators are free living organisms that feeds on the living insects, consumes more than one individuals during their lifespan. Major insect predators are as follows: Ladybird, that is Coccinella, feed on the aphid and leafhoppers. Green listing, that is Chrysophylla carnea, feeds on the aphids and sucking pest. Mandrake, dragonfly, citripid fly feeds on the different type of insect. So these are some biotic factors including the natural enemy. These are some photographs showing the predator feeding on the insect. This is the predatory bug feeding on the larvae. Deep aphid, or a popularly sugarcane woolly aphid predator, feeds on the sugarcane woolly aphid. Parasitoid, these are the insect parasite of arthropod, that is the parasitic in the immature stage killing the host in the process of the development. The adults are free living. Major insect parasitoid as follows: Trichogramma, which feeds on the Lepidoptera. Apenteris flavus feeds on the Lepidoptera larvae. Ipricam melaleuca, that feeds on the sugarcane. Pyrilla, Copidsoma coelera, and Children's black bunny feeds on the potato tuber moth. So these are some examples. Pathogens like disease causing environment pathogens are freely available in the environment. With the action of the increasing humidity, the certain fungi, bacteria, viruses cause diseases in many insects, in which fungi like the Verticillium decani, it is known as the white harrow fungus, Piberia, that is the white muscardine fungus, even the Metarhizium anisopli, that is the green muscardine fungus, causes diseases to several insects and cause septicemia or the death of the insect. Bacteria like Bacillus thuringiensis, Bacillus papilli also found effective against the insects. Viruses like NPV, nuclear pernicious virus, was popularly um, used against the Helicarpa parmigiora and Spodoptera lutera in traditional crops and vegetable and crops very effectively. So these are some other natural enemies, that is frog, toad, reptiles, birds, rat, bears, snake and lizard, which control the insect naturally having very great potential. Naturally, unknowingly, the farmer, unknowing to the farmer, they are controlling the pest in which having very great extent in direct or indirect management of the pest. So these are some natural factors which are associated with the pest management in natural way. So thanking for your kind attention. This video is prepared for the uh, educational purpose, not for the commercial purpose. Thanking for your kind attention.